Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to physics class. Are you ready to start the class? We are in chapter 14 Properties of Waves. Before beginning today's class, let's revise what we have studied in the last two classes. In the last two classes, we discussed about the types of waves. You know that there are two types of waves: longitudinal waves and transverse wave. We also discussed about the four properties of waves. They are wavelength, amplitude, frequency, and period. We also studied about the wave equation. The wave equation gives the relation between speed, frequency, and wavelength of a wave. And it was given by V is equal to F into lambda. I hope all of you have done the assignment given on wave equation. In today's class, we are going to discuss the following topics: wave effects, ripple tanks, and reflection of ripples using ripple tanks. Let's learn what are wave effects. There are three main wave effects. They are: the first one is reflection, the second one is refraction. Before going to the third one, I know that you are familiar with these two terms because we have already studied about reflection and refraction in the chapters light and sound. Do you remember what is meant by reflection of light? Yes, it is the bouncing back of light when it hits a surface. What about refraction? When light travels from one medium to another, change occurs to the path or speed of light. This is known as refraction. We also studied that sound also exhibits reflection in the form of echo. The third wave effect is diffraction. I know that you are hearing it for the first time. Though you have learned about reflection and refraction, today you are going to study these three effects of waves in detail with the help of wave theory. Reflection, refraction, and diffraction can be experimentally shown with the help of a ripple tank. Before explaining ripple tank, let me ask you one question. What are ripples? Have you seen this effect in water when you throw a stone or something into the water? Yes, these are known as ripples. In the beginning of this chapter, we studied that ripples are examples of transverse waves, and they are the disturbance produced in the water. We can study the three main wave effects with the help of ripples. I told you that we are going to study the three effects with the help of a ripple tank. Let's see what is ripple tank. A ripple tank consists of a shallow glass bottom tank which contains a small amount of water. It is used in laboratories of schools and colleges to generate waves for various studies. It can be used to study the reflection, refraction, and diffraction effects of waves. Let's have a look to various parts of a ripple tank and how it works. Parts of a ripple tank. Transparent tray. It is leveled and filled with water to a depth of less than 1 centimeter for generating water waves with uniform velocity. White screen or white paper to form image of crest and troughs of water waves. Lamp to shine light on the water surface in the tray and to project the ripples on the screen. Electric motor to vibrate the wooden bar and the metal sphere to get the water waves. Wooden bar to generate plane waves. Metal sphere to generate circular waves. Ripple tank working. To a shallow tank which contains water, a wooden bar which is having electric motor attached to it will be placed. When the power supply is on, the electric motor will start to work and the wooden bar will vibrate and thus ripples will be formed in the tank. These ripples can be viewed under the table, in the screen or in a white paper with the help of an illuminated bulb above the table. Two patterns of ripples. We saw that there are wooden bars and metallic spheres in the ripple tank to generate ripples. With these, we can produce two patterns of ripples. The first type of pattern is straight ripples. The preview of straight ripples is like this. In this, you can see many straight lines. They are formed when the wooden bar of the ripple tank vibrates up and down when the electric motor is switched on. You can see that the ripples are equally spaced. See, the distance between adjacent straight ripples are same. Straight ripples can be used as model for a broad beam of light. Example for broad beam of light is light rays from sun. Next pattern is circular ripples or spherical ripples. As like the name indicate, these ripples are in spherical shape or in circular shapes. See here, you can see many circles, isn't it? And these are the circular ripples. And these ripples are generated when the spherical dipper or the metallic spheres of the ripple tank vibrates. As like the straight ripples, the circular ripples are also equally spaced. And one more thing about the circular ripples is they are concentric. You know what is meant by concentric? Concentric means what? Common center. So all these ripples are generating from a common center. Circular ripples can be used as a model for light spreading out from a lamp. So the two types of ripples are spherical ripples and straight ripples. Hope you understood about ripple tanks. Let's see how we can study reflection of ripples using ripple tank. Reflection of ripples. Reflection of a wave can be studied by a ripple tank. For that, we have to do a modification for the ripple tank. What we have to do is we have to add a reflector or an obstacle in the path of the ripples generated, and it should be placed at an angle. Here we are using the straight ripples formed by the vibration of wooden bar. Let's have a close look now. This is the image captured using a camera of the screen of ripple tank while the experiment of reflection of wave was carried out. In this figure, you can see many straight lines which are vertical. And these straight lines are the straight ripples. When these straight lines are struck on the flat surface or a barrier, they get reflected. Here you can see a inclined line, and this indicates the barrier or reflector which was already kept in the ripple tank. The metal barrier here acts like a mirror and the ripples bounce off it. They pass through each other and they get overlapped. You can see that the straight ripples and the ripples which are bounce back, they get overlapped each other. I will explain it again with the help of a diagram. In this diagram, you can see the straight lines. These straight lines are the straight ripples formed in the ripple tank. And this inclined line is the barrier or the reflector which we placed in the path of ripples in the ripple tank. When these straight lines are incident on the barrier, they get reflected and they change their direction. Also, you can see that when the straight lines was incident on the barrier, it produced an angle. And this was same as the angle when it produced when it reflected. This gives us the relation angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Do you remember this relation? Yes, we have already studied this as one of the law of reflection of light. The law of reflection of light describes how a ray of light behaves when it strikes a flat surface. However, it does not explain how light is reflected. We need the wave theory of light to provide an explanation. We have seen that waves are reflected when they strike a surface. If we picture light as a form of wave, then we can predict that it will be reflected in the same way that ripples on the surface of water are reflected. Hence, by reflection of ripples using ripple tank, reflection of light can be explained well. Hope you understood today's topic, ripple tank and reflection of waves. We'll meet you for the next class. Thank you.